What's up, y'all? Sparta here, and I want to do probably will be my final, follow-up video on the LG V20. This is more of an in the long run video and a final verdict on if I will actually stay with this phone for a year or two or get the V30 or whatever that may come out, as well as my predictions, what I want to see for the V30 and what I think about the G6 potentially becoming. Now, as this being the first phone that I did on my channel, it's actually got more of the popularity than even the S7, which actually kind of shocked me. You know, with my video on how LG pretty much failed the V20 and how they marketed it, as well as not putting it in Europe, not putting it internationally, just particularly from what I know in the stateside. That's pretty much a fail in my opinion. A lot of people wanted to get this phone to replace their Note 7 and whatnot. And I feel for them. Now they have to pretty much get an unlocked version or import from the US or whatever. And that's honestly not good. Now I'll do a quick battery report. Now, as you guys saw in my review, I was able to get at least 4.5, 5 hours of screen on time. And as you guys can see, I'm at 4.5 hours right here of screen on time. And my phone's been off the charger for 8 hours and 12 minutes. So that's pretty much over the time that it's been on. And I've been using this phone a lot, actually, watching YouTube videos and all that, basically since I woke up this morning. And it's essentially been the same thing, where it'll stay on for quite a bit of time and it won't actually, standby time is actually still amazing. There hasn't been any updates yet, but quite frankly, I'm not really looking for any or waiting for it, because the phone still runs great. Even before I factory resetted it, it ran great. I just factory reset to get all the games and stuff that I didn't want on my phone, because I put them all on my tablet. Aside from the games I do daily login bonuses for and shit, but that's pretty much it. Now for as far as heat dissipation and stuff like that, you know how hot the phone gets. It doesn't really get that hot. It gets warm, but that's if I'm intensely using it, moving files from, uploading files from here to Google Photos, or putting files from here to a computer or something like that, or Bluetoothing files, or putting it from my main storage to an SD card or something like that. And the 64 gigabytes of storage hasn't really gotten full. I just really decided to factory reset it, mainly because I didn't want to go through and manual through all those games. And the second screen, as it was when I first got it, is still very useful. Game performance is actually really as good as it was from when I first got it. Everything is actually pretty much how it was when I first got it. The fingerprint scanner is still very precise and accurate. The cameras are still nice and great. I have no scratches or anything on them. And I pretty much kept that plastic protector on. The fingerprint scanner is not really scuffed. It's probably just greasy, but that's pretty much it. The always on second display still works very well for me. It gets plenty bright when I need it to be bright, and it gets very bright actually, OLED display bright, despite it not being an OLED. The flash works very well. It's very bright. Everything pretty much works how it should. Now, what I really want from, say, like the V30 or whatever they may call it, is a more streamlined build. Like, if they need to make the phone thicker to put in a bigger battery and still keep the removable battery, do that. I don't care. That would also thin the bezel down, the bump of the camera, which honestly, I really don't care, but that's whatever. Still keep this kind of like design language where the phone like bevels off the edge like that to make it kind of like a pseudo curve, because it feels very good to like put to your face and stuff like that when it's like that, rather than just having a flat surface. I'm not really gonna demo it right now, but sorry, I'm checking my S7 for heat. Now, as far as like my anticipations and the rumors that the G6 was pretty much like confirmed, because they pretty much put up an image, pretty much like they did last year with the G5, where it would be waterproof. It would have a bigger screen, which is an 18:9 display, which would be a Quad HD Plus display, which would just be a bigger screen but a smaller build. And they'll probably and it'll be all glass and it'll be water resistant, kind of like the the Galaxy phones of this year. And if that's how they want to do their the G series phones, I'm fine with that. Just keep the V series as your power user phone. That's what I don't like what Samsung did with the Note line. They essentially just made it a bigger S phone with the style with the S Pen and S Pen features that tailor to that S Pen. Granted, they've ported some features to the S line, like being able to capture a long screen. I'll do that in my S7 review. But yeah, as far as like the software of this phone goes, as I showed you guys, I'm on 14% of battery and got 4.5 hours of screen on time on this phone. So it's actually still really good. I could probably eke out 5 if I truly wanted to, but I'm not gonna. But as far as this phone goes, for the V series line, just have a better DAC for the V30. Front-facing speakers. How they made like the top and bottom on here, they could have put front-facing speakers on here. That would have been really well. Or just have like what everybody else is pretty much doing, a top speaker up here and a bottom speaker down here. I wouldn't really mind, as long as it's some stereo speaker array. That's essentially just what I want. And keep the all-metal build. I don't really mind. If you can, bring back the stainless steel sides. I really like those. But that's pretty much it. I love the design of this phone, despite how understated it is. It feels really premium to hold. It feels better to hold in the hand than my S7 does. And I just love bigger phones in general. A big phone is a big phone. If it feels big, it feels big to me. And that's pretty much all I really care about. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's been pretty much it. Let me know what you guys want to see from like the phones for this year, whether it be Moto. We've already pretty much seen what HTC is doing with the U Play and U Ultra. What you want to see from LG and Samsung and Huawei and all those people. Just let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. Don't be afraid to put a comment down. It's there to chat. But yeah, this has been Sparta. Thank you guys for watching and have a good one. Also, as a brief update, since I factory reset the phone, I know I made an update on this before, but the speaker ended up after that actually doing the popping thing again, but after I factory reset it, it stopped. So let me go to YouTube real quick and show you guys. not history. What's up, y'all? Sparty here, and I want to do my Samsung Galaxy S7 review. Now, as a part of my review, I just want to get one thing out of the way. As you guys pretty much heard, it doesn't sound real. It doesn't pop anymore, and I know I made a video on that before, but I didn't want to make another video saying that, oh, it started doing it again. I didn't want to do that, so I just decided I'll just wait until I make another full video on the V20. But music, I'll just play some music too. Not full volume. My mom's sleeping. As you hear, it doesn't really do it. You guys heard in the YouTube video as well. I'm not about to play that full volume. It's almost midnight. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As I said, how overall I feel about this phone, pretty much the same as I got it. Probably one of the top three, like number one. Two would be the Note 7, but since the Note 7 died, RIP Note 7, it's the S7/S7 Edge. And after that would probably be like HTC 10 or Huawei Honor or Mate 9. Well, Huawei Honor 8 or the Mate 9. Because I really want the Mate 9 or Honor 8. I just can't afford it right now. Pixel would be after that. iPhone 7. Despite the fact that it took out the headphone jack. The 7 Plus in particular because it has a dual camera setup as well. I'm just trying to see if this phone will focus. I'm trying to stress how good it'll stay focused. It stays focused when up pretty close, but when okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, it would be V20, S7. I'll put the Xperia XA in maybe like, I'll do 3 that, the Huawei phones, number 4, because since I haven't tested them, I can't say. Number 5 would be, number 5 would be the Pixel 6, would be iPhone 7. I briefly use those in stores, so I can actually vouch for them. HTC 10 as well. I could kind of vouch for that. Sony Xperia XZ, the flagship of last year. I can't because I haven't played with it, but I'm pretty sure it'll just be a better XA. So with a USB Type-C jack, was port, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's my best of 2016 top 5. This S7 mid-ranger would probably, if I got the Honor 8, it would be the Honor 8. But since I didn't, I guess I have to say the XA. Not saying that's a bad phone, it's not. But XA, then if I had the Pixel, it would be the Pixel, then the HTC 10, then the iPhone 7. It's hard. I'm not good at, putting a number value on a phone that isn't the price. But because phones are tailored to who buys them, If If you buy an S7, you buy an S7 because you like Samsung products. I don't necessarily hate them. I just don't prefer them because they tend to be laggy and shit like that. I forget with that app I gotta actually press the X. But as far as audio goes, it would have to go to the V series for the LG. For auto camera, it would be between the Pixel, iPhone, and S7. For overall, like, power user, though, it would most likely be the V20. Budget phone, it would be between the Honor 8 and the XA. But since I got the XA, I'll just have to say XA, even though I'd probably like the Honor 8 more. And as far as that goes, I guess I'm pretty much done. I just wanted to make another video to sum up my feelings about this phone and how I'll feel about, the V30 and stuff like that. If they do find out a way to, like, take the glass panel off of the G6 and still have a removable battery, that would be pretty cool. That would actually be really cool, because that's what they did with this, even though phones have done it before, but manufacturers didn't want to do it for whatever reason. That's whatever. Because thinner design. But as far as that goes, as I said, let me know what you guys want to see in these new phones for this year. I want to see more modules for the Moto Z line. I want to see what these so-called AI components are going to do for these phones, like the U Ultra and the Honor Magic. I want to see what these quote-unquote AI components are going to do for these phones. Since apparently the U Ultra is going to have a second screen, like the V20 and the V10 V series now. And they're like, oh, it's going to tailor it to your experience and what you do. I'm like, okay. But you can tailor the second screen on the V20 to what you do and to what you use most. But okay. It's whatever. But I'm just glad somebody else adapted it, honestly. Because it's actually a pretty neat thing. But as far as that goes, I'm pretty much done. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for showing a lot of support for my V20 content on this channel. I'm actually shocked it's getting more views than the S7. And hell, even the NVIDIA tablet, the Shield tablet's getting more views than my S7 stuff. And my XA coverage as well. Please just, share my S7 videos with people too. I know they're not like the most hyped up or the most like, super eager of any of my phone reviews. But that's because I'm being critical of Samsung, because the S7 and S7 Edge in particular were hyped up to be the best phones of the year. And I didn't get them to the end of last year. So I was like, okay, let me see. That's why I was being very critical. That's why I was bringing up all the bad points I got first. The S7 is still a great phone. Samsung just needs to learn how to optimize their shit. Because even now, this phone is pretty damn, like, warm and hot. And I do the same amount of footage on here, and it doesn't get as hot. It doesn't get as warm. But it still acts like that. Even while charging, it does the same shit. And I'm using the charger, I'm using the brick that came in the box, and it's still acting that way. But as far as this phone goes, as far as the V20 goes, I'm really impressed with what LG did for this phone. But for this year, they really have to buckle down with the marketing and the release dates and all that stuff. They really do. Because that's critical for their phones in particular. They did it with the G2 and they kind of dropped off after a while. After the G2, they're like, oh, people are just going to buy them now. No, you actually got to market your phone. This phone isn't meant for everybody. And it's not also just meant for like audiophiles. It's meant for the content creator. It really is. Almost every review or every video that I've done for this channel has been with this phone. So it's not necessarily just, oh, the V20 is just for people that like audio. Whoever says that, don't listen to them. It's not that. The V20 is made for the people that value those power user features, and the people that say that the removable battery can be taken away just so you can get a bigger battery, despite the fact that the battery life is great on this phone. I don't know what the fuck they're doing on their phone to get 2 hours of battery life, but you must be recording 4K footage all day or doing something or writing code or doing something heavy on there, doing GPU intensive tasks, trying to run Crysis 3 on your phone for you to just get 2.5 hours of battery life, because that's asinine. That does not make any sense to me, especially what you guys saw. And the only reason it dropped to 10% now, I keep turning the fucking display on and turning it back off. And it's desperate for some, juice. But yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm not about to go into a huge rant about how reviews are biased. I will say that. They're biased in a way because you buy the damn phone and you're critical of it. I've used LG phones for a while and I've pretty much know the stress points. I know how to stress these phones. I know what to do to stress these phones. When I got the G4 from the G3, I knew to run a whole bunch of apps in the background. I knew to switch in between each app, go to the home screen from not a really intensive app and see if apps were drawn the home screen, and they didn't. And they haven't done it since. And that's the polish I'm looking for in the phone. Samsung doesn't really do that. They really don't. You can say, well, TouchWiz is a bit more streamlined now. Yeah, a little bit, but it's not the cream of the crop. It really isn't. I don't know why people are trying to say it's the best skin because it's the most tolerable. It really isn't. It really isn't, man. I think people just value the hardware features more than the software, and that's where I differentiate. The software runs the best. The phone feels better to use, and that's my issue with the S7. That's my one issue with the main issue with the Note 7. It's laggy. It bugs out of nowhere. I literally got a message earlier while I recorded this video the first time that, oh, the phone is getting hot. It needs to cool down. And I'm like, what? But yeah, I'm not going to get into that. This has been Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to, give me your thoughts in the comment section about how you feel about all this stuff, because I really want to know. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching yet again, and have a good one.